Hello. So this is gonna be like an introduction, get to know me while I play with makeup. I want to do a colorful look today, and this is my inspiration. So we're gonna yellow, orange, some pink, purple, and blue. I have an idea, but we're gonna see if that idea can, like, what's in here can come out on here. It's gonna be like, an introduction, kind of like a little about me, who some of my favorite wrestlers are, backstory with wrestling, all of the above. So let's get started. Okay, so my name is Christina with the H, and the reason I decided to go with that as like my handle for everything is because since I'm Hispanic and white, my mom is white and my dad is Hispanic Mexican, most of the time, since the H is silent, people don't use the H when they spell my name. And most of the time, Christina, if you're Hispanic, is spelled CR with no H. So everywhere I go, I'm always like Christina with the CH, or you can also spell it with the K. So everywhere I go, I just always say that. So I was like, what a perfect handle. And anyways, everybody always wants to spell it CR. So that's kind of a little backstory. So I am 32. I will be 33 in March 29th. So I am Aries. I was born and raised in Texas, here in the DFW area. Like I said, my mom is white and my dad is Mexican. I am married, been married since 2017. I have a 5-year-old that I love to death. So I started watching wrestling, I want to say when I was about 5 or 6. And I was just flipping through the channels one day and I saw it. I don't remember if I flipped to WWF or if I flipped to WCW, but I just remember I flipped to it and I was like, ooh, what is this? And I was watching it and I was like, ooh, I like that. So then the next week, again, I was just flipping through the channels and I found it again and I just started watching. So I just kept watching ever since. And a lot of people are always like, oh, I took a break from watching around this time for a couple years or whatever. I don't remember a time that I stopped watching. I know when I was a kid, I would go to Mexico when my dad's parents were alive. I would go in the summer break and during the Christmas break. And I feel like those would be the only times that I wouldn't watch it, because when I was a kid, I don't think they were international yet. I don't remember. But anyways, yeah, so I've been watching ever since. And my first favorite wrestler was The Rock. And still to this day, he is my favorite wrestler. As a kid, I always wanted to go to live, to watch wrestling live. But back then, SmackDown wasn't live, it was taped, and they taped it on Tuesdays, and then Raw was Mondays. And I couldn't go because of school. My parents would never take me. So I went to my first live event probably in I want to say, I remember I was working at Jack in the Box. I'm going to say like 2013. Yeah. And it was like a house show at, here in Fort Worth. It wasn't like a Raw or anything. It was on a Sunday, I remember. And then pretty much ever since, I pretty much go every time they're in my area. My favorite, like I said, my favorite wrestler of all time is The Rock. Till about 2002, when John Cena debuted, I fell in love with John Cena. And I remember when they were feuding, I was actually rooting for John Cena over The Rock. And now that I think about it, I was like, how could I betray The Rock? But yeah. So John Cena was my favorite since he debuted till recently. When I heard his comments about Vince McMahon, I made the decision that I would no longer support John Cena. For a long time, it was John Cena number 1, The Rock number 2. But here recently, I decided that The Rock was 1 and John Cena was 2. And now, The Rock is number 1 and number 2 is Eddie Guerrero. So my top 5 wrestlers, favorite wrestlers of all time is The Rock, Eddie Guerrero, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and how could I forget? Cody Rhodes, of course. So those are my top 5 male wrestlers. And then my top 5 female wrestlers is Becky, number 1, Bianca, number 2, Rhea, number 3, Raquel, number 4, and then Bayley, number 5. I know you were probably thinking, like, why Raquel? How can Raquel be on your top 5? But you know what? I relate to her because we're the same age. I think she's a couple months older than me or whatever. And she's from Texas. And she's Hispanic. And she was on, I think it was either Out of Character when he had a podcast, or it was After the Bell with Corey Graves. I don't remember what it was, around the Royal Rumble in 2023, because it was in San Antonio, Texas, and she was talking about, you know, home state advantage and all that. But she was talking about how she's always been bullied for being bigger. And I mean, now she's taller, but she's like, you know, athletic. And then she loves to eat some tacos. And I just, you know, I relate to her. I love me some tacos too. And I'm a big girl. So that's why she's on my top 5. Okay, so I did my eyes off of camera because, as you can see, it's a colorful look, and I got nervous and I didn't want to mess it up while I was okay. So I added a wing, letting it dry so I can clean it up a little bit. Those are my favorite wrestlers. And then my favorite pay-per-view is the Royal Rumble, and then WrestleMania. Those are my 2 favorite pay-per-views. So I do watch AEW, but I don't know, it's just, I guess since I've been watching WWE since I was a kid, I kind of prefer it. But kind of like the only reason I watched AEW was because of MJF, and he's injured, so I still watch it, don't get me wrong, but just kind of like I I usually watch it as kind of like background noise at work while I'm working with my headphones in. Because, like I said, I'm a mom and a wife. So I tell my husband Mondays and Fridays I'm watching wrestling live. And everything else, like NXT on Tuesday, Dynamite on Wednesday, Collision on Saturday. I do not watch it live. I usually watch it the next day at work. And then Collision, sometimes I'll watch it till Monday. And I try to watch Rampage, but I really don't. So I don't know how I feel about the eyes. Like, I don't know. Kind of like them, I kind of don't. I don't know. I'm in between. So I've been to WrestleMania twice. Well, once in 2016 when they came to Dallas. And then I went to night 1 and 2 in 2022 when they were here in Dallas. So I don't know if that counts as 3 times. I've been to the Royal Rumble in San Antonio in 2023. I've been to numerous Raw, SmackDown. I've never been to NXT though. I just started watching NXT and AEW. I want to say I started watching in I want to say in the beginning of 2022. So when NXT started doing their 2.0, I didn't get to see like Becky, Sasha, Charlotte, Tammy, Kevin, you know, and all of them, Finn Balor, Roman, The Shield. I didn't get to see all of them in NXT. I barely started with like when the Braun Breakers and the Grayson Wallers and the Carmelo Hayes, when they all started. I believe when I started, Cody was like leaving, so I didn't get to see Cody in AEW. And like I said, MJF is really the only reason that I would watch. I mean, I like Samoa Joe. I've been a Samoa Joe fan for a minute. I want to watch TNA, but I don't have the cable channel that it comes on. It comes out on, and I don't know how to watch it, to be honest. And then also, I feel like that's a lot of wrestling to watch. And I don't know if I watch TNA. And then I know there's New Japan, and there's a lot of wrestling out there, and I don't know that I can watch all that wrestling. My husband already tells me, like, you prefer the wrestling over me? And I was like, please don't ask me to choose, because I just might choose wrestling, sir. My favorite thing that is going on right now is obviously the Rock, Roman, Cody situation. I mean, I'm a Roman fan, yes, but I really thought Cody should have won last year, and I was kind of upset when he didn't. But this year, I wanted The Rock versus Roman so bad. Like, sorry, Cody, you had your chance last year, but, you know, guess we're gonna do it again. So, I have no choice. Hopefully we get Rock versus Roman next year, I guess. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm using my watch to see if I'm in frame. Because I'm recording on my iPhone. I don't have a camera. I want to get a camera so I can start making more videos, because I'm running out of storage on my phone. So I feel like I wanted to be like a social media YouTuber, whatever, since probably since like it became popular. What was it, 2015 or 2016? But I've always been so shy, and like I see all the hate people get online, and you know, I'm a bigger girl, and you know, someone out there is not gonna find me attractive and be like, oh, this and that, and you know how it goes. And I've just always been scared but I believe it was in October. I was like, F it, I'm just gonna start posting consistently on TikTok. I've been watching a lot of wrestling content creators. I got excited because, you know, growing up, like in my generation, it wasn't cool to watch wrestling. You were almost like embarrassed to tell people you watched wrestling. Ever since I like started TikTok and I found, like, I guess I got to the wrestling side of TikTok, I'm like, there's a whole community that watches wrestling and they talk about it. I was like, these are my people. So I got excited. So I decided to start making videos. I'm at, you know, a little bit over 1,000 followers. And I've met, well, not like met in person, but I feel like the mutuals that I do have, like the people that I talk to daily or like interact with daily, or, you know, I feel like they're really cool people. And I just love talking about wrestling. My friend from high school, we recently reconnected, and she got back into it too. I've gone to a couple live events with her. Sometimes people may not want to talk about wrestling all the time, so that's why I decided to get on Wrestle Talk. So that way, when I post a video, or if somebody posts a video, we can talk about it, you know, because that's the reason they post it, obviously, to get comments and conversation and all that. So I got into makeup when I want to say, well, you know, since I am Hispanic, I did have a quinceañera, so I wasn't allowed to wear makeup until I was 15. And I started with like just the black eyeliner underneath when I was in, I think I was in middle school or high school, maybe a freshman or something. I was in my little punk rock era, so I would wear all black, and then I would have the black eyeliner underneath, and that's all I really did. I didn't start like falling in love with makeup till after I graduated from college, like 2011. And even then I was not good at it. I would get a foundation that didn't match me, and then I would take a bronzer and basically use it as a setting powder and put it all over my face so I would be orange. So then the YouTube beauty gurus started, you know, being a thing. So I would watch Nicole Guerrero, and I started like learning more and more about makeup. And then I started watching Laura Lee and Manny and Jeffree Star, and I just got this obsession with makeup. I love to buy makeup. I love playing with makeup. I love, you know, learning about makeup, practicing, doing different things. And here I am today. I'm still not the best, but I try to do different things. I like to like today that I'm not doing anything, I like to like play with it, do different like things, and then if I'm going somewhere, I'll just do regular makeup. But you know, I like to play around with makeup, and you know, it's fun, it's creative, it's my creativity, it's my escape from reality. Wrestling and makeup are my escape from realities. If there's no wrestling on, I'm usually playing with makeup, watching old wrestling on TV. So I have a couple of hot takes. My opinion, CM Punk is overrated. I don't think he's as good as he thinks he is, or everybody else thinks he is. I've just never been a fan. He's just, and I'm probably gonna upset with some people, but I feel like he's just a crybaby, and when he doesn't get his way, he just throws a fit and leaves. Just recently on AEW, I mean, he didn't get along with the Elite. Some people think active wrestlers should not be EVPs, but you know, they are, so whatever. Tony creates Collision for CM Punk, so he doesn't have to work with the Young Bucks or Kenny, you know, because while CM Punk was on Collision, the Young Bucks, Kenny never wrestled on Collision. It wasn't until after fired that I think Kenny and MJF had their title match, because Kenny had the record for longest title and MJF was about to beat it. Could be mistaken, but I don't think the Young Bucks have wrestled on Collision or ever been on Collision. I don't know. Like I was saying, Tony Khan basically created Collision for CM Punk. I mean, of course, we don't know what happened behind stage. I just feel like when he doesn't get his way, he cries about it. And I feel the same way about Sasha Banks. I mean, every time she lost at WrestleMania, she would go off for 6 months and back. And, you know, I feel like Sasha Banks is overrated too. I just don't get the hype. I also think Liv Morgan is overrated. Don't get me wrong. I remember when she was with the Riot Squad and they were doing something on SmackDown. I don't remember. But, you know, she stood up to Charlotte Flair. Maybe the Riot Squad had already gotten fired. I'm not sure. But, you know, she wasn't really doing anything. She was kind of just there. You know, I was happy when she won the Money in the Bank. But then, like, I don't know. Her title reign just wasn't it for me. I didn't like how she beat Ronda when she cashed in, but like their first match, how she just like got lucky and beat Ronda. I didn't like that. Her character just annoys me. I liked her when she was the young rebel with the Riot Squad. When she laughs, it annoys me. Like, it annoys my soul. It's not even her character laugh, it's her laugh, because I've heard her on podcasts and everything, and she just does the same laugh. But anyways, I went on a rant about Liv Morgan. Now that The Rock has challenged Cody and Seth to night 1 tag team match, most likely Bayley is not gonna main event night 1, and it pisses me off because Bayley won the Royal Rumble just like Cody did. I think that they should separate the men's tag team titles, because there are so many tag teams on SmackDown that deserve a shot. There's so many tag teams in general that deserve a shot, and the Judgment Day are just holding them hostage. I think Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are doing amazing jobs at the general managers right now. We finally don't have like the heel general manager. They're finally listening to us. I love T Green. Her and the Adam Pearce segments are freaking hilarious. I am low-key excited Shawn Spears is back because I want the Iconics to come back. I know Cassie Lee is pregnant right now, and Jessica just had a baby, but I would love an Iconic return. They were so underrated. Once they split them up and Billie Kay, or Jess, was doing her own thing, it was hilarious. But you know, if they're done with wrestling, that's fine. I want them to be happy. Everybody was expecting AJ Lee to come back as soon as CM Punk returned, so why can't I do the same for the Iconics? We'll just have to wait and see. That's pretty much, you know, a little bit about me, my opinions on current events in wrestling. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me. And this is the final look.